Welcome to the Rise to the Challenge podcast. Joining me today, representing Countywide Band, it's Evan and Aron. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good. How you doing?
We're doing so good. We're so excited to have you guys on the show to talk about your Rise to the Challenge. What we like to do with all of our guests is go right to the beginning. Talk about a little bit where you're from and what were you guys involved in growing up?
You can go first there.
Well, we're from Southeast Kentucky. We just, we grew up, we're country boys, and this is just what we do for a living. We try to entertain people and have a good time and work hard, and that's what we do.
Well, we didn't come from money. That wasn't in our cards. But we've just done real good to make good for ourselves, and we're doing good, and we love the music. So I mean, that's kind of what brought everybody together, was that music.
Yep. So first, Aron, when did you fall in love with music?
Man, I grew up around music. My mother was she's a great piano player and great singer, and she taught me music. And we just we bonded on that, and still do to this day. She always tells me I can do better, and I agree.
Was there a certain artist or a style of music that kind of made you guys bond together through it?
Man, honestly, what got me really focused besides her was listening to Southern rock, and I enjoyed Leonard Skinner, CCR, and then I enjoyed classic rock too. So I kind of got into AC/DC and stuff like that, and all that kind of came together to get me going on what we've done so far.
Evan, talk about a little bit about how did you fall in love with music, or where was that first time you thought this is what I enjoy listening to?
So I grew up in church playing music. And I grew up as a Pentecostal church, so like we always did like soul gospel. So like blues was always like, if I wasn't listening to church music at the time, blues, man, I love blues. I'm a blues picker. That's where I learned how to play keyboard. I play piano, and man, just from the time I was little, just watching everybody play music, I said I've got to do that. So I was able to learn how, and I taught myself, and I'm kind of proud of that. Aron did too. He didn't have no help. We didn't have YouTube when we was growing up learning how to play. We had to figure it out.
You guys both mentioned different genres of music coming from different, how you guys fell in love. Coming up in Kentucky, which style is more close to what people are usually listening to? Is it the country rock, or is it the bluegrass soul gossip?
Man, it's such a mix of everything. It really is. It's because we love it all, and it's all good music. It's such a mix of, to me, and I think Evan feels the same way. It's such a mix of all that it's hard to pick one thing out. That's just, and it became our own style.
Yeah. To your question, it's everybody around here listens to that. It's either blues, southern rock, country. That's just what we all listen to. That's just what we all, because there's songs about us. Mm-hmm. So we just kind of jive with them.
I think for me, growing up in Missouri, we don't have a set, what's the style of music? And I think that's what makes it so special is you can grow up listening to anything. And as you get older, you start enjoying other varieties. And that's what makes music special is you can connect. Like maybe a rap song you can connect to, a rock song. I knew when my family, I was growing up, my dad would play like Leonard Skinner, AC/DC and all that. So that's the style of music I enjoy now, where everyone that I'm friends with is like, oh, I want that pop music right now. And I like the classics. That's what I enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where all of us, which I know the other boys, they ain't talking with us right now, but I think that's kind of the way all of us feel,
Yeah. Did you know that when you were growing up that you wanted to be musicians, or was there like another passion that you had, sports, arts, things like that?
Well, I thought I was going to be a baseball player.
Why is that?
Because I thought I was good, but that did not work out. that did not work out. That was just me as a boy, growing up, thinking that was my dream. But I did fall in love with music in high school, and I actually quit playing sports and switched over to that. That was my thing. That was the thing I turned into was music. So,
and I've got a similar background to Aaron there, except mine was football. Mine wasn't baseball. But I just kind of I learned how to play music out of necessity because we was at a small church and we didn't have nobody that really could play sometimes. So I was like, yeah. So I kind of had to learn. And then I was like, I really love this. I'd rather just do this. Ended up taking all my time. I just got tired of football. I never did get tired of music though.
Looking back,
exactly right. Yeah.
Looking back for both of you, would you have played sports, continue on, and music at the same time instead of just quitting or going into a new direction?
Yeah, I don't think I could have done both.
No, music means more to me than
yeah.
I mean, that's just me thinking. I don't know about you, Evan, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's not a sport that means that much to me as music does. It's a different thing.
And my opinion on it, if you're going to do something, do it to the fullest of your ability.
Yep.
And I couldn't split my talent or time up. There's just no way. Because then I'd be short in both, and I'd rather just do one the best I can.
Yeah. I agree. Give 100% to what you're doing.
And just be done.
Did your family support that decision that you guys wanted to go all in with music?
I mean, yeah, mine did. But it is it's work. It's a job. It's not like a lot of people look at playing music like you're playing golf on the weekend. It's not the same thing. You know what I mean? It's there's actually work that goes into it, and it takes up a lot of time, and you have to be dedicated to it. It's fun that you're playing music, but it is a job. It really is a job.
With it being a job, was the financial aspect hard? Because a lot of times you see these artists that they get a big break because someone famous found them. For you guys, was it always worth it to start and continue to grow and build that fan base, build that audience, build those even followers nowadays with social media?
Yeah. That's something I don't care how big we get. I think we all feel this way. The reason we get to do anything and play music at all is because people like to watch us play music. So we're always going to keep building fans, and we'll always be there for fans because that's just the kind of people we are.
Yeah.
When was the first time you guys met each other? As there's 4 people in the band, when was the first time you two met each other and you guys started this journey as a group?
Well,
there's 5 now.
There's 5.
Evan's number 5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Evan's
I'm number 5.
Yeah. So I met Anthony, our bass player. We went to high school together, and we went to college together, and we roomed together. And I met Steven and Travis just over a course of time, and we started a band just kind of to have something to do. You know what I mean? Just kind of a goof off thing. And we kept going from there. And then I met Evan, what, buddy, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Probably 3 years ago. And I heard him sing and play. And I said, this guy has got to be a part of this. And then the COVID, everything hit. And a lot of the music got, knocked down for a while. And a lot of our shows did too. And I understand why. I get that, but after everything started opening back up, we told Evan, was like, you got to be a part of this. So it's just been a process of meeting each other over time, and me and Anthony are the only 2 people that actually knew each other since we were kids. But
for you and Anthony, did you guys click right off the bat, especially with roommates being in college? Was it like kind of like friends no matter what? And that kind of helped you build that bond so that when you brought in new people, it just fit together?
We've never had an ill word at each other. It's just, and you're correct. That's why I trust him. He trusts me. And we both agreed, like with Evan, I was like, he's got to be a part of this. And he said, yeah, he does.
That's one good thing with our whole band is that we all just kind of mesh like that. Like from day one, we was all just cutting up. We've all been real good friends. And, we're family, really. And that means a lot. So
I think that's so good that you guys have that bond, especially with you, Evan, where you came in later in the time, but you were able to still click with each other and you guys are happy. You enjoy music, and that just shows with just by speaking to you guys just for the few minutes we have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Everything. And that's, like I said, we all do that. And, when we're on the road, we make fun of each other. And, you have to, if you're driving for 9 or 10 hours somewhere, you got to have some kind of camaraderie or whatever,
Well,
we love goofing off with each other, and it's fun. It's fun. That's where that's why I'm saying it's a job, but it's a job you can have fun at.
Yeah.
This is the main thing.
Yeah.
Do you remember that first concert you performed at? Talk about that experience as a group. Were you guys nervous? Was it, like you said, it's a fun job for you? Did you guys just went out there and just perform?
I don't know. I don't mean to speak for Evan, but I don't necessarily get nervous before shows. I get anxious, but it's not nervous. It's more anxious, if that makes any sense. It's more of I want to go out there and do good, but I know that we are, but I want to make sure to interact with the crowd. And that's the thing. I always want to make sure that I'm interacting with the crowd, because if you're not interacting with the crowd, you're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the main thing to me, that I always am concerned. So I'm always thinking it's not a nervous necessarily. It's more of it's just, you're thinking, you got to remember words to songs, remember how to play the song, and interact with the crowd. And all the boys are doing the same thing. I think that's, to me, that's more of what it is. Now, Evan may have something different to say.
My first show with Countywide was an arena show opening up for 38 Special. Now, I've played in front of people my whole life, but I only had one practice to get ready for that show. Now, that's the only time I've ever been nervous. And, man, I was sweating bullets, and it went really well. But yeah, I was nervous that time. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we brought him in hot with opening up for 38 Special.
Yeah.
At the arena in Corbin. So,
Aron, as the lead singer, you mentioned how you have a lot of responsibilities as a performance. Is there any certain part in time where you feel that it prepared you for that moment, where you had to think about the lyrics, think about what's going on in front of you on stage, thinking about the people behind you playing, making sure everyone is cohesive, because if one thing's off, someone's going to notice?
Yeah. Well, I will say this first off, and Evan knows, those boys take care of me, because it makes it very easy to be the singer of this band, because I don't have to think about a whole lot except reading the crowd, like I said. When you've got a good band around you, good guys around you, good people around you, it makes it very much, it's so much easier to, I'm thinking, but, and Evan knows, and we joke about it, when you're the lead singer, you always get kidded about not doing a whole lot. But but no, when you've got a good band around you, man, there's nothing to worry about.
Evan, talk about that where he just mentioned where you guys are taking care of him. Do you feel that it's a lot of pressure because if you're off, maybe the drummer's off, the other guitarist is off, it doesn't cohesive?
No, not really, because we all do practice and put the time in. So I mean, if somebody misses a step, like there's somebody to cover it. You know what I mean? Like it's not like you would never know it. You would never know that it ever happened.
That is true.
Because we've played together so much that if somebody has a tendency to mess up, we kind of know they're going to do it. So we just cover it up. So,
even for a person like me, where I don't know your songs, you mess up, I'm thinking, oh, it's part of the song. Oh, that they're not doing anything wrong. It's supposed to go like that. And I think when you're in that environment as a fan in the crowd, you're just there to have fun. That if you're nitpicking something like that, you're not supposed to be there, because
you're not a fan at that point.
Performance is all about enjoying it, because music brings so many people together.
Yep. You can't nitpick it. You're there for a good time.
Yes.
And that's the thing that we try to do. You're there for a good time, and don't worry about if it's supposed to be a G7 augmented, and maybe it should be. But and maybe there's a difference in a key.
He don't know. He don't even know what G7 is.
I don't even know. I mean,
okay.
I played bands in high school. I was a French horn player, but I couldn't tell you what anything else music wise is supposed to be right. I'm lucky if I can play one note right anymore.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying about Aaron. He is too.
I have no idea. I have no idea. We got Evan and Steven that actually know music, and they tell me all the time that I need to figure it out. But what do you do? That's the reason I've got them around me.
You guys talked about earlier about how you guys connected to lyrics or songs. When you're writing songs today or throughout your time as a band, what's going through the process of creating songs? Are you thinking about things that have gone in your life, things that are happening in the world, or trying to think about things that fans or listeners can connect to?
When I write a song, I'm more thinking about my real life, things I've actually went through. And I think that when I'm writing that, I think most people they can relate to that. Mm-hmm. Even though I don't know them, I don't have to relate to their situation. But if I'm writing a song about losing a job, or if I'm writing a song about, anything, that they can connect to me on that, because they've already experienced that, because I have too, because I've been through life. So I think they can kind of grasp that. And to me, that works better right from real life experiences. And anybody should be able to get along with it.
Evan, do you feel that there's any songs that you've been able to connect with that Aron has written?
Yeah. Pretty much every single one of them. My favorite song that he's written, I mean, it's like it's about me, is he has a song called Good Advice. And, basically it talks about, you've had all these people in your life that's giving you all this advice, and you've just chosen to ignore it for so long. And all of a sudden you're like, I should probably listen. I was like, yeah, that's me. Oh yeah.
Do you feel that the topics that Aron has written has made your guys' bond even closer? Does that give you guys the opportunity to share your own experience through those topics that are being talked about in your songs?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. It was not Aron does all the songwriting, but like I said, me and Aaron's a lot alike. Really, all of us are a lot alike. So, we kind of come from the same background. And absolutely, that's been definitely a bonding point for us.
Is there a song for someone that's listening to this interview that hasn't heard you guys before? That what's that one song everyone should check out and talk about? What is it about?
I would say what Evan just said is good advice. That's if you can't grasp the meaning of that song, you know, it's something that everybody should have went through and figured out over time.
Yep.
You know, and like Evan was saying, you as you get older, you're like, well, if I'd done this, you know, I may have been in a better spot, and that's what good advice is about. That's exactly.
Yeah, but that one's not out yet, so give them another song. It is.
We're getting the exclusives here.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now that's coming out real soon, but it ain't out yet, so you just have to wait for it.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. A song that we have out is Full Speed Out.
It will be in 2 weeks.
Well, this interview will come out in 2 weeks, so it might be out when it comes out.
It might be out when it comes out. That's another one. That's a good one.
We had a full album come out a couple years ago. So, but I'm even on this. I'm trying to push the new ones. So.
Yeah, well, that's what we need to do. Yeah, but yeah. Full Speed might be out by the time this airs. So
there you go.
It'll be everywhere you can buy music. So
yeah,
you'll be able to find that one.
You guys have had the opportunity to perform on stages with a lot of people, NASCAR, Dierks Bentley, Chris Stapleton. Is there one performance or one event that you guys have performed at that sticks to your mind as memorable right now?
Man, we've done so many. That show at the arena that Evan was talking about earlier, where we opened up for 38 Special, was awesome. We got to open up for Hank Jr. and we got to meet him. Man, there's been so many. I'm sorry, I think I lost you. I'm back. Anyway,
All good.
You're back.
There's been so many. And honestly, most people that we've met have been so cool and easy to hang out with, and they're busy just like we are. But they've been so awesome to meet.
The one that I've heard a lot of stories about, and I wasn't there for it, was Charlie Daniels. You know, I've heard a lot of stories about y'all and Charlie Daniels.
Yeah, Charlie Daniels was a good person. I wish he was still with us. He was a good man. He was super kind to us. Just a good man.
Looking at the future, is there a performance or a stage that is a dream destination for you?
To me, it's not. I just want our songs to get out. So there's no one certain. If the songs are getting out there and people are appreciating the songs, it's art to me. And if people are appreciating that art, I can't really peg it to where is it this show or that show. I just want people to appreciate what we're doing and what we've worked for. To me, I get more out of that than anything.
Would you think the same way, Evan?
Yeah, that's I do. If I had to pick one place to play, I want to play Rep Arena pretty bad.
Rep Arena in Lexington. Yep.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, it's all about the music. I don't care where we play it. I just want people to enjoy it and hear it. That's really it.
With music being your jobs, how has that played an effect with families, friends, things like that? Have you been able to incorporate them into your travel, into your experience, so that it doesn't feel like you're leaving out anything?
It's tough. That's a tough one. The families and you know, not all of us, but you know, we all have families, whether it's, whatever it is. But it is tough because you're missing out on time with those families when you're traveling around and driving and playing shows, no matter what it is. That is very tough. It is hard to balance. It is. But everything that I've been through with all five of us has been okay. It's just, but there has to be an understanding from your family to know that that's going to happen, and you're not going to be there for everything. You may miss something, and that's just because the thing is, we play on the weekend, and all family events happen
on the weekends.
On the weekend,
yeah,
exactly. So just balancing that out, but explaining to everybody why you're doing that. But it's a challenge, but it's not horrible. It's not horrible. It's just, it's part of it. And we knew that going into it.
Yeah. I've been pretty lucky. Most of the time my wife gets to go with me, which she did. Now she just graduated nursing school, so she ain't gonna be able to go as much, but now there for a while she has to go. And that's all I've got is my wife. I don't have nobody else that I ever hang around. So it wasn't as hard on me as it was the rest of them. They kids, and I don't have no kids. So yeah.
With social media being a big presence now, talk about being able to where you can share clips. You can actually really interact with fans on a different basis than the normal ways back then. How has that played an effect where you're able to give samples of music, tell people when you're going live, things like that? How have you guys been able to do it than other people have?
Evan, you're up, buddy.
Yeah. So doing podcasts, that anything that you can use to direct somebody to your music, even if it's a small clip, that drives their curiosity.
Yep.
And it's so much easier today than it was like even 5 years ago. I mean, technology has advanced even from 5 years ago. And we do some clips here and there, just things, just goofing around. Like, I don't know if you've seen the one on our Facebook. We just broke down in the van, and we just sitting at a tire shop, and that was our second tire shop. It's a bad day.
That was
it was bad. Stuff like that. It's just because at the end of the day, like I said earlier, fans is why we're here.
Yeah,
and we want to bring them along for everything. So we try to make sure they see everything that we're doing. Not just the music, but the crappy time getting there. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Is that something that you've assigned yourself as, Evan, where like Aron does the songwriting? Are you the social media guy?
I do social media. Steven's not here with us. He does merch. Travis does pretty much all the booking, and Anthony does all the money. Because we're not good with money, we'll just spend it on stuff.
There you go. Basically, I do nothing but write songs.
That's not easy at all.
Yeah. No. Some would say that might be the hardest part.
I don't know about that.
We had the chance to talk about your music journey and career, but talking about you personally, has there been anything you wanted to accomplish personally? Is there a challenge, a task, a goal, something besides music that has ever caught your interest?
Just to me, and I don't mean to speak for Evan on this, but just being appreciated for what you're doing. I mean, just in general, no matter what you're doing, if you're appreciated for the work you put in and your talent, I think that's a good thing, and that's what I've always wanted to do.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too.
I think that's so true. I mean, a lot of times people don't, even if they're just having a friendship where they don't appreciate the person being in their life, supporting them and stuff. And especially I can see it with just you two, where you guys appreciate each aspect of each other's friendships, as bandmates, and even the other guys that aren't present right now. It just shows that bond, and you know that nothing's going to stop you. You all friends have that disagreement, but you're able to learn and grow from it. So like you said, Aron, I totally agree with that, because I don't think we see it much in the world today. I think we definitely need to showcase that more.
Yeah. Appreciation for whatever you're doing. If you're doing something you believe in and working hard at it, it needs to be appreciated. That's just the way I think.
Yeah. Well,
do you guys have the opportunity to do many music videos, or do you prefer just going into a studio and playing?
You up, Big E?
Yeah. We've not really done any music. We have an EPK, but as far as like music videos, we've not really started doing that yet. We're going to do that. That's in the plans. Now we love to play in a studio. It takes us probably longer than anybody else in the industry because we goof around too much, but we love to play in the studio. We just love to play.
Yeah. Yeah. And it always turns into a good time instead of a well spent time.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that the timing is right to do the music videos and not when you started it?
Man, honestly, I feel like a good lyric video is a good time. Yep. If you're putting a song out, a good lyric video is a good time to bond those two things together. Outside of that, I don't know, but I feel like if you're sending that song out and you've got a good lyric video to correspond with that, I think that's a good time to send that out.
My opinion on that is, back whenever Countywide first started, they were a totally different band than they are today.
Yeah.
Even before I come on board, they was a totally different thing, heading in a different direction. You know, they started out country, and that's just not what we are anymore.
No.
So if we'd had a music video back then, we couldn't even used it. So
no, it wouldn't have matched up. That's for sure.
It wouldn't even worked out. So yeah. I think if we're going to do it, this is probably the time.
Yeah.
I think a lot of listeners are going to ask the biggest question: how did you come up with the name Countywide?
Oh boy. Well, I've thought a million times that we had not come up with Countywide, because we've been called Countrywide.
Yep.
Country Stride, County Line. So there's just, honestly, when we first started this, we were kind of goofing off, and then we started landing big shows, and so we had to come up with a name, and we got on social media, and nobody was named Countywide, and so that's what we went with. I have nothing else more to tell you than that.
There's no deep meaning.
There's no. This is how I didn't want it to be nothing to do with my name or anybody else's. We're just trying to find a band name, and it ended up being Countywide.
I think it's such a fun name. I mean, because people could have their imaginations of what it means. Maybe you guys all live in the same county, or there's a long stretch of counties that you guys are all from. Things like that. Traveling to every county. I mean, it's endless opportunities, and even the simple ones are even the good ones.
Yeah.
That last one you said, where we're all the area that we live in, it's called the Tri-County area. So you've got Laurel, Knox, and Whitman. And we're all in one of those counties, but not the same.
We all, that's true. We all live very close to each other.
Yeah.
Which is not normal. I didn't know that. A lot of bands have to travel to, a lot of band members have to travel, and we don't have to. We're all very close to each other. So,
yeah.
What does the future look like for you guys, especially as a band? What are you hoping to accomplish in the next few years? But also as individuals, what are you wanting to accomplish?
Well, and that's kind of the same thing we talked about earlier. To me, we've already made it in a sense, you know what I mean? But if I can get people, or if we can get people just to appreciate our art, to appreciate our music, to appreciate the work we've put into it. If I can get people just to do that, at every show, to me, that's what I want, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
What about you, Evan? What are you wanting to accomplish? Maybe you have a different idea.
No, he's right. As far as the local band, we're not as a local band anymore. We far surpassed a local band. But of course, I want us to. We love playing music. I want us to be able to play anywhere that we can. So we just need to keep hammering. That's what we're doing. We're gonna keep getting shows. We're gonna keep getting bigger shows. We're not. We're gonna stay independent. That's just where we're at. That's the kind of people we are, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So whatever we can do to be independent is what we're going to do.
Yeah,
I like it. It's all about, it goes back to your guys' passion for the music business and just music in general, where nothing's going to stop you. And I'm even excited to see what's next for you guys. The final question I have to ask both of you, so you'll each get your opportunity. For someone that's listening to this interview based on your journey and experience, what tips or advice would you give them to overcome obstacles, accomplish their goals, and rise to the challenge?
Man, that's a tough one. And I appreciate you holding that off till the end. Thank you. But to me, if you, and I've already said it a few times, but it's following your heart. Following your heart. If you're going to do something, follow your heart and try to make people's lives better that's around you.
Yep.
Don't make anything worse. And I try to do that, and we all do with our music. I want people to show up, and I've always said this, but I want our music to be like pizza. It's good no matter what.
Yes.
Pizza's always good. And that's the way I want our music to be. It doesn't matter. And that's the way I've always looked at that.
Yeah.
What about you?
So, if this is something you're wanting to do, this is something you're really thinking about doing, don't ever let somebody say you can't, because we all started out not knowing anything about anything, and you'll fall on your face. It's going to happen 100,000 times.
Yep.
But no matter what, keep getting back up. You'll figure it out. That was my biggest thing. I used to be nervous all the time, and it took me a long time to get out of that. But finally, I'm to the point where I don't care if it's 100,000 people or one person. I'm gonna play the same, and I'm gonna give them the same show. So that's just never give up on yourself, and never give up on your dreams, ever.
Well, Aron and Evan, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about your rise to the challenge. You're inspiring so many people, and we're excited to see what the future looks like for you.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate that.
Yep. Thank you, Alex. We appreciate you having us on here.